before looking forward to this next week. And why don't we start with the most dominant team in college football? Alabama spotted Ole Miss 7 points, and then they rattled off 62 unanswered to house the Rebels in Oxford. And when you think about what Alabama has coming up next, you look at the schedule down the road, it really is very favorable for them. I mean, look at what the numbers are in terms of the percentage chance to finish unbeaten or at most with one loss. I don't think Alabama even gets tested until November 3rd down in Baton Rouge. Matich, when you look at this, is the dominance of Alabama, is that a good thing for college football, or do we need to see more of a mixture in terms of teams up there at the very top?
No, it's not good. It's great. The dynasties are fantastic because they give the people that love the dynasties something to really sink their teeth into, and the people that hate them, they hate them even worse. And when the big dogs go down, it's that much more devastating for the fans of the big dogs and more delicious for the people that dragged them off of their pedestal. The dynasties are fantastic.
They are, because you get the cheer for one side or the other. You know, most of the country is going to be cheering against the dynasty. But you know what? It's only good, Trev, if it's competitive. And I say that last year against Georgia, 2nd and 26 in overtime, they make a big play. Remember the year before that, it was big plays with Clemson, and Clemson found ways to win the football game. The year before that, it was a great game against Clemson. I'm not okay with a dynasty if it's a frying pan upside the head and the playoffs are worthless. But because the final games, the games to end the season have been so great, I'm perfectly fine with this. I love having to root for a villain or root for the hero, the favorite.
Yeah, but David, to that point, is this Alabama team that much better than everybody else in college football when you look at the landscape? Yeah, we're going to find out some more things as we get more into week 5, 6, 7 down the road. We're only 3 weeks in. But to your mind, are they that much better than everybody right now?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I tell you what, I don't see the weakness. Now, listen, Ole Miss, we were saying the secondary, Trev, and they're inexperienced, and they're going to take advantage. And play one, they max protect, and they throw a deep shot, and they get a touchdown. And then Nick says, "You get out of the game, and we'll fix this," and bring in another guy. And you're just starting to see Quentin Williams and Deontay Thompson, new guys that step in that are just so talented, and just it's the next wave. But here's the difference, Trev. This isn't any different than any Alabama team we've ever seen, except for they have the best quarterback Nick Saban's ever had, and it ain't close. This guy operates on another level. Not only does he have the improv, he has the on-schedule, the arm, the accuracy. Good luck stopping him.
I agree with you there. I think this is different from the other great teams, though, from the standpoint of it's far and away the best offense, but it's not nearly the best defense. And I think the kind of team that will be required to beat them are, first of all, a team with enough size and physicality to stand up to the pounding. Number two, it's got to be a team with a pass rush, because if you let Tua stay back there, he'll just destroy you. And third, you've got to have a quarterback who knows where to go with the ball and will get it there on time, because this defense is so difficult to get open against. But you can get open. But the quarterback needs to know where and when, and the ball needs to arrive.
Yeah, there are ways in which...
Trev, Cotter, it's good to know that he basically just took out every team in the country except for like 2 or 3.
Yeah, there are definitely, there are ways that this team is similar and ways that they're different from previous Alabama teams. One way that they're exactly similar is that even after 62-7, Nick Saban is not quite satisfied just yet. Take a listen.
I still think that looking at the film, there's a lot of things that we can improve on. I think the most important thing for our team right now is maintain a standard of excellence and not allow outside voices and influences to affect our intensity, our focus on preparation, and understand the importance of maintaining our standard in everything that we do every day.
Where's Nick's intensity, by the way? Nick he's melancholy up there, man. He's not barking. Where's his energy? He needs to keep his energy up if he wants everybody else to keep theirs up.
Yeah, he's hardly had even
with any sense was terrified in that room.
Hasn't had to sweat. He hadn't had to sweat yet. I mean, you look at some of his players, too. He's going deep down the depth chart. Damian Harris has less than 30 carries in 3 games, hasn't even had to work for it yet. I mean, maybe that's the biggest issue right now, is that they haven't had a test, and they may not have a test until November, David.
It's an issue for you, but it ain't an issue for them. They ain't worried about that. And listen, Damian Harris ain't touching the ball because you got Harris and Jacobs behind him, the two that both, you watch those guys touch the ball, and they're like, yeah, he'd start for every team in the country minus maybe a few. Oh, he would too. So the depth is embarrassing on offense. I mean, not to mention that this isn't a spread offense that can't pound you. Their offensive line is physical and nasty. They got a bunch of backs that are physical and nasty, and you're seeing the wide receiving core, score at nauseam. You could see tight end this week too, making big plays. So it's just an embarrassment of riches. It'd be nice to be Nick.
All right, time for the Capital One fan vote. Which ranked opponent has the best chance to beat #1 Alabama? And here's what they've got coming up. I mentioned that they may not get that test until they face LSU. They have Texas A&M coming up, but it's in Tuscaloosa. And then later on, obviously, Mississippi State and then the Iron Bowl with Auburn. Of these four, which one of these teams has the best shot at knocking off #1 Alabama? Go to twitter.com/SportsCenter to check out this week's Capital One fan vote. All right, let's move to Ohio State. One of those teams that